Yeah, I'm ready. Wait, what did MJ say we're calling this again? Oh, right. No, I got it. I know we're live. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Live. In person, live Raw. Welcome back to News of My Fiance. Monday Night Raw. Live. In person, live Raw. With myself, DJ Ambush, Morgan Jones, reporting live from the 501 Fire. That is downtown Portland. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your support. Be a part of the text. Hop in the chat on YouTube. And, join the conversation.
Yeah. Every time.
Yeah, every time.
Get myself all sorts of lost.
Hey, man.
Just, before we get started, want to make sure that we always shout out our studio sponsors, We Out Here Magazine and Spirited Justice, for giving us such a dope space and housing us each Monday. Our production team, Kyle and Jess, handling the scandal every single Monday. And of course, shout out to y'all for listening, watching, showing up, staying engaged. Get in the chat.
Boom.
Oh, and subscribe. Like it now.
Yes.
So you don't forget.
Yes.
Comment at some point, and your comment can be whatever you want it to be.
Facts.
If you don't like it, say I don't like it. I didn't like today. I don't like y'all. Whatever it is.
Right.
Comment.
Yeah.
Like it. Subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And another friend. Your work spouse, your home spouse, everybody.
Your side piece.
Also tell them.
Tell them all.
They probably have some things they need to learn.
Yeah. But
So we just want to keep expanding the show. Sorry.
Okay. Big shout out to our current subscribers, both our free and paid subscribers on Patreon. Major shout out to y'all and to our subscribers on District 9's YouTube.
Yes.
We are at 64. And I feel like by the end of this show, we'll be at 100.
I think you're right. That is how it works.
Yeah.
If you say it, it'll happen.
Yeah.
That's what manifesting is.
I'm like in X-ray fundraising world.
Well, you know what? That's what we need to be in for ourselves.
That's the energy we need.
Hit the Patreon, friends. We're going to raise money for ourselves this time.
Boom.
Yeah.
So, this is our 5th show.
I thought it was our 4th.
I'm pretty sure it's our 5th.
I trust in you.
Guys, this is our 5th show? Okay.
Wonderful. They're with me. Just kidding. They said they don't know.
Things are a little off because Kyle doesn't have his school purple light.
It is a little weird. It is.
I don't know what to say.
It is a little weird.
So, had a very interesting interaction when I got here.
Okay.
I'm unloading the car, putting everything in the cart, getting on up. There's some folks hanging outside, doing their thing. Recreational usage, chilling. And one of the security guards walks up, just like one of the teams that just works downtown.
Oh, uh-huh.
And he walks up and he's like, hey, guys, you can't really smoke like right here in front of these steps here. And he pulls out this Ziploc bag full of cigarettes. And he starts giving them cigarettes. Like, as he's just talking to them, he just give them like 2-3 a piece. And they're like, oh, thank you, da-da-da-da-da. So now they're just chopping it up and then they move along. So I said to him, I'm like, yo, I've never seen that. Like, that's pretty cool that you guys can give them, cigarettes. And he was like, yeah, I just found out recently, too, that we can give them food. We can buy them food if we want, and we'll get reimbursed for it. Like our security company that we work for will reimburse if we buy them food. And he said, just makes the conversations easier. You're just like talking to people all crazy.
Treating people like people.
And I was just like, yeah.
Finding a way to give them what they need in that moment. Shocking that works.
So shout out to our brother. His name was Eric Washington.
Oh, wow.
I believe that was his
You're doing so much.
Shout out to E-Wash.
Okay. I don't know that if you're uncertain about someone's name, you get to Yeah.
That's more of a reason why you can nickname him.
Yeah, but the one you just made was with a name. Like if his last name isn't Washington.
You go E-Dub. Shout out to E-Dub.
If you know for sure there's a W in there.
E-Wo.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to my man E. But I was just like, wow, that's pretty dope. Didn't know that was a thing. Really, really, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. That's what I had for, my experience today. But we also had a pretty cool weekend. One of our littles was back in the house.
Yeah. Our not so little. The first back from college visit.
Yeah. It was awesome.
She's been gone 2.5 weeks.
She tried to surprise you. She tried to surprise you. She couldn't even hold it in.
Well, to be fair, she told me yesterday that she wanted to surprise me, but she knew that I would want to be prepared, so she didn't want to stress me out.
Morgan
and what that means,
surprises.
I've done my job as a parent.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. But okay.
I've raised a thoughtful, considerate person who cares about others, who pays attention to the needs and wants.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Had she just shown up at the doorstep,
would I lose my mind? Of course.
But not in a bad way.
No. Okay. I mean, no. There's a misconception here on why I don't like surprises. It isn't even that I don't like surprises. It's that I don't like all surprises. And I don't think that people should be surprises. Every type of surprise. Okay. I don't think you should surprise people with people. I don't like that. And it is something that you love. And the times you have done it.
Rather successful.
They have been successful.
Oh, all right.
However, I am apprehensive in even saying that because I don't want you to be like, see, it worked out, so I'm just going to keep doing it.
No, I know better. There were a couple of times. Well, I mean, each time I did it, it worked out. And you see how frequently I've done it. Yeah,
I do appreciate that this is not a thing you continue to do.
No, you don't. Listen.
But I need to know if
I also am not a gambler. You know that. I'm not going to keep rolling the dice. I'm not going to keep rolling the dice. I don't play those games, bro. No. Yeah. I lucked up a couple of times. Right. So I mean, I have a stellar record. Why chance it?
Why would I mess that up?
I'm not doing that. No.
Don't want to mess that up.
Not at all. Not at all. Mm-mm.
I mean, yeah. I want to know if am I wild for not wanting to be surprised by people? Like, is that a thing that... No, I'm not asking you because you're not going to say that it's wild. Like, you've been dealing with it for a long time.
No,
you know?
But I am with you. I don't think it's wild because it's surprising people with people. There's a lot that goes along with that, right?
Yeah.
So the time I surprised you with one of the best people you can surprise someone with, C's.
Yeah.
It's not like I had C's show up at the house unannounced. You were at work.
Yeah, I don't know that that's better.
Well, I mean, in the way that you were at least prepared to deal with people. You were, you know what I'm saying? Like,
fair.
You were presentable. You were like, I caught you at work. You were expecting to see me, and you saw me in C's.
Okay.
Right. The other time, your proposal. So that, I worked with Lily, and she, made it work. Like, you were prepped for what you didn't even know you were prepped for.
This is true.
Very well prepped. Because I have, I'm good. No. That worked out really well. King of surprises. No one can take me down.
King of surprises. Yeah. No one can take
Who's going to stop me?
I guess just the fact that you're not going to gamble.
No. Nope.
Well, we're going to talk about a few things today.
Yeah.
One of which, a reminder. You do not need to cross the pond to laugh at anti-Blackness.
Oh, jeez.
And if you're wondering what the heck that's supposed to mean, there's a podcast of two Black British men called Shits and Gigs.
Yeah.
Hilarious, or have been... I have laughed very hard at many...
I love those guys.
Heartily at many of their clips.
Too good.
They did their American tour. They came over here. They did a bunch of podcasts. They did some sightseeing. And within the podcast they decided to stop by, they went to Andrew Schulz, the Flagrant podcast. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even said that. Doesn't matter. Went there, and Andrew Schulz is just one of those comedians who thinks that, I think maybe this is all you might need to know about. He's like, oh, don't be PC. And there's something to be said about people who say that when you're not just like not being racist, you know?
He's this generation's Andrew Dice Clay.
Okay. I remember Andrew Dice Clay. I just, that also felt like an act. And so,
ooh.
And by that, I mean, like, it felt like, it felt like his act. I don't know that he was that
way in person
at his barbecues, I'm not saying he was or wasn't.
Yeah. I feel you.
But it definitely felt like a costume being put on. For Andrew Schulz, he's this guy. He's the guy that laughs uproariously at his own jokes. Like, and I mean, like, kicking his feet in the air.
Yeah.
And just, like, losing his mind over the racist thing he just said that was super funny because he's so edgy. And, like, racism isn't edgy. That's, like...
I don't care how many black friends you got.
Yeah. I don't. But none of it's edgy anyway. Like, transphobia isn't edgy. Homophobia isn't edgy. You not liking other people isn't edgy. That's not like, ooh, he really gets it.
Right.
He's telling it like it is, or whatever it is that they think people are saying and think is funny. But he's continuously doing anti-Black stuff and other racist things, sexist, like beyond what we, like, he is very much red pill adjacent.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I guess that's the best I can say.
Yeah.
So number one, I don't know why these two men went on that show, right? I just don't even know why y'all went on that show. I don't know if you are familiar with it, if it was just your booking agent or your so-and-so, like, it's a big show. I get it. Well, actually, I take that back. I don't know how big that show is. I just know that it's successful enough.
Yeah.
That having people on is exposure for some folks, getting exposed to another audience. But unfortunately, then we have to be exposed to more Andrew Schulz.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a Netflix special.
And that's what makes people think that he's a A-OK kind of dude. I'm sorry.
Right. No. That's, yeah. And I'm saying, like, with regards to you saying, like, how whether his show is big or not, like, people seeing that and not really understanding what his cultural footprint really is,
right,
is going to make it feel like, oh, no, we got to do this show. It's Andrew Schulz.
Well, and
he's got a show with Charlamagne.
I was going to say he's got a show with Charlamagne,
right, which was the portal for me. Yep. Your black friend was the portal for me to your foolishness.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And Charlamagne just sitting there every time, all the time. Much like the
Chris Rock.
Oh. They hit Chris Rock with the hard R multiple times, and he was just like,
found it hilarious. What's old boy's name? He had the sexual assault allegations.
Louis C.K.
Finding out Louis C.K. wrote Pootie Tang was like, cool, Chris. Cool. Awesome.
I think I might be.
You just found out?
This today years old.
Yeah. I was like, awesome. Yeah. It came out during the whole Will Smith thing. When people were rushing to Chris's defense. People were like, you gotta chill out. Chris is not as cool as you think he is. Outside of the, just harassing Jada for years. Yeah, dude's problematic. And, it seems like every 2 years that video resurfaces with, with those guys in the hard R. And now the one person in that video that seemed like he had any sense is out here sounding like a weirdo, Jerry Seinfeld. It's just like,
Jerry Seinfeld has always been a weirdo. Sorry, hate to break it to everybody. Right. He was dating a 17-year-old when he was 30-something on the cover of People magazine.
I was unaware of that for quite some time.
Been a weirdo.
Not cool.
Loving those tight little gymnast butts.
He said that.
He wrote that in a book. He wrote it down. Then more than one editor read it. And then they published it. Put it in print. I don't even know how we got there. Yeah, the crash out that is happening with our Brit boys. And yeah, they've now made an apology.
They did?
They did.
How'd it go?
Well, we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Eric Adams. Everybody? Huh? That could just be the show if you want. We could just talk about Eric Adams and the house of cards that is about to topple right on top of him. It just continues to happen. There's like, this little drip of we took that person's phone, that person's been indicted, we're investigating this person. Oh, now we're taking Eric Adams' phones and we're doing this. And
for anyone that may not know, Eric Adams is the current mayor of New York. And
shouldn't be.
Definitely shouldn't be. He's the worst.
Indeed.
Man's brought back stop and frisk, ramped it all up. He's just horrible. He's all the way around horrible. He was corrupt on his way in. Now the corruption is about to take him out.
I'm guessing he might have been corrupt as a police officer, too.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm guessing maybe.
Yeah.
Sworn to protect and serve.
Everyone in this administration, these are old homies. And then the fact that they're all getting taken down in the corruption situation. Yeah, y'all didn't just start being corrupt. Y'all been corrupt for quite some time. Shaw thing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Shout out to the dog. Anyways.
I did this wrong anyway. Thoughts and prayers for round 2. 145 was presented with an AK-47.
It is true.
Just kidding. He was not presented with anything. So,
I mean,
we're going to talk about this because for so many reasons, but very specifically, calling something an assassination attempt after saying there were shots around this person and then to realize the shots were coming from inside the security detail.
Yes.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Is the lesson to be learned here that maybe we don't say anything at first? Maybe breaking news doesn't get broken until you know more than a couple of things that the police told you or something.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you not feel that it was an assassination attempt because he didn't get a shot off? I mean, his intent was clear. So it's an attempt.
I'll give you a sure. I mean, sure. Yeah. But when presented in the way, it's not like he was.
No, they definitely
the way that they made it sound.
He ducked the shot.
Okay, and we're doing too much.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll get there.
Yeah.
Always trying to jump the gun, Ambush.
I'm sorry.
I, for one, thought that Rene Gonzalez was someone who was about accountability and law and order, because that's what he said that not only he was about, but that Portland needs those things. But then somehow he keeps getting in trouble and then not in trouble again. But the thing he did is that Jews should be in trouble. Most of other people going to be in trouble.
Yeah, he's Teflon.
So there's been, a development in the Wikigate of sitting city commissioner, mayoral candidate, one Rene Gonzalez.
He's inappropriately using public funds.
And then, we'll get to the hard R of the day. I wonder if we made that a segment, if we would have like a clip every Monday ready. I know we would.
We could.
The National Review, with a hard R, their editor-in-chief, I think?
Yeah.
Was talking to, the prolific Megyn Kelly, and that's always a good time. And that person
while referring to Haitians.
Hit the hard R. Haitian hard R's.
Yeah.
I mean migrants.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that.
Like, during the broadcast,
Fam.
Like, you couldn't even, like, clip that, bro.
Fam.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll just say that before we get into any of these things, that one of my favorite things is, because I know that it is hard as a person who does interviews. If somebody says something wild, you're trying to, like, not respond to it.
Right.
I can understand. She just sat there smiling. She was just like, and it never, there was never like no mini panic, no nothing.
No,
he didn't skip a beat. He was just like, migrants. So anyway,
yeah.
I mean,
she's a pro. Because I hadn't seen this segment, I listened to it as you played it, and you were like, wow, she's just sitting there smiling. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, definitely. She is sitting there like, oh, thank you so much for this viral moment. This is going to be awesome. This is going to lead to the clicks. This is going to lead to the views. Oh, yeah. You couldn't pay for that. Yeah. Like,
I mean, the point on the board, I suppose.
I wanted to say it. I got one of my guests to say it. Sweet. What?
Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. She knows her fan base. She knows what they're into.
Well, what do you want to jump into? Oh, we didn't say super marrying. You know, our good friend. We got to keep going with Henyard Watch. I don't know. Maybe we'll have every Monday an update on Tiff, Dalton's super mayor. What we're learning now is that apparently super mayoring also includes $3.25 million in money laundering. So cool. The job is expanded is all I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That,
train don't stop.
There's just money's gotta get to places.
Money's gotta get laundered. Huh?
And that money's gotta be clean.
The money's gotta have motion, bro. You gotta keep it moving. Like, is it money if it's not moving? What are we doing? Come on.
But let's start with this.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember what state this was. There's a snake story.
Oh, this is heartbreaking.
And there was a particular snake that became illegal within its lifetime. Like there are living ones, but now it's illegal or something. Is that right?
The regulations for that state, as far as what snakes could be owned by individuals, changed. And because of that, the snake
owner.
What? Yeah. Well, this person actually has like a small sanctuary for them.
Oh, okay.
So people were bringing their snakes back because they're not allowed to own them anymore. And he was rehoming them in states and places where they were still legal.
Gotcha.
But he ran out of time. So there were still snakes there. Like he said, he was trying everything he could to get them all rehoused. So there were still snakes at his facility that now it's past the time limit, and his fishing and wildlife officers show up. And they're like, we got to euthanize these snakes, these remainder of snakes that should not be here in the state. Yeah. And, I mean, how do you guys think that went? Poorly. Very poorly.
It went real bad.
Yeah, super bad. It was a boa.
A boa constrictor. Happened to be pregnant. This was a very old, very pregnant boa constrictor that is not illegal to own. That is, that I don't know if the habitat for that snake was just right next to all the other, like it was in the middle or something. And so something made the handlers at this facility tell the wildlife cops, this snake, do not touch this snake. I don't know if they actually said it 10 times, but the guy says, I reminded you 10 times.
not to touch the
not
snake.
to touch that snake.
And from what he said about the value of the babies, I could see myself telling someone 10 times because there's $100,000 worth of babies in this snake. So maybe don't, like, guys, not this one, okay? And as a new officer shows up, I talk to your homeboys. This one here, not this one.
Right.
I could see that.
Oh, I can absolutely see the need. I can see the application of it. And then I can see that the people did not in any way heed that. However, they did remember, because the camera footage of this, you see them realize. No words are spoken.
Right.
One person realizes, oh, holy crap, that's the wrong snake. Looks at the other person. That person realizes, holy crap, that's the wrong snake. And then it's just like hands in the air. I don't know what to do. Like, and yeah, so I don't know how many snakes. I mean, I don't know how many babies that snakes have on a regular basis.
Never less one that size. Yeah.
Boa snakes typically have 12 to 25 babies in a litter. This person said that was $100,000 worth of babies in that snake. And I'm less concerned about the worth and the money and more concerned with the fact that wildlife workers who are like, do this on the daily basis. This is
get paid for it.
This is you discerning which snake is which and knowing the difference between the wolf and the dog. Y'all got me on that one, right?
Right.
Well, it's y'all that don't know the difference between the illegal snake and the boa constrictor that is not in any way illegal to own. That's where I'm the most upset.
Yeah. That
the experts are the one who made that mistake. And then the absolute best part was one of the workers just being like, hey, dude, I know this is very upsetting, but the city will fix it.
Yeah.
The state will fix it. That's the state.
State will fix it.
The state will fix it.
State will take care of it.
To which he says that's $100,000 worth of babies in there.
Right.
And they just kept saying the state will take care of it.
Right.
Which I don't know if everybody here knows this or not, but if that is true and the state then makes that person whole, which I believe they deserve to be made whole. You
absolutely
can't bring any of those dead snakes back. That's taxpayers paying for that.
Pretty much.
That's taxpayers paying for the mistake of government workers who were told 10 times, do not do this thing that they then did. And I'm all for mistakes happening. I have made humongous mistakes in my job and have made, huge mistakes in a job that I know how to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not that I'm saying that I don't understand how that happens, but I do wonder how cautious they were if they were told 10 times and then just.
Yeah. And then it happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have an affinity for reptiles. I've owned some reptiles when I was younger. Definitely. I was a completely different kid, man. Well, obviously, because I was a kid. I was a completely different person when I was a kid. Used to pull legs off of daddy long legs. I used to smack bees and pick them up. Elementary school. Like
smack them and
bumblebees.
Pick them up?
Yeah. And, I did get stung one time like that.
I bet.
Yeah.
Deservedly so.
Yeah. I did have, for a couple of years straight, I kept a chameleon. They were called annals. They were like carnival chameleons. So if you went to a fair, it's the little chameleons they give you that you could buy in a brown paper bag. Mm-hmm. And they turn just those two colors, green and brown.
Okay.
So I had those for years. I always had those. I had a couple. I had a skink. I don't think I've ever had a snake.
What is that?
A skink is another lizard. That one actually escaped at my parents' house. Never found that.
Oh.
So, I'm sure it made it outside and froze or something ate it. That's just how that works. Circle of life. Anyways, friends of mine have had snakes. I played with garden snakes. There's never been a point where I see these big snakes and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Definitely want one of those. No. Hollywood has done its job. Every big snake is going to kill me. I'm convinced. Okay? That's what they do. Anacondas, pythons, whatever. It doesn't matter if we're at, South Street and some dude's out there with a tank top and he's got 4 yellow boas on him. To me, this sounds like you're just waiting for something stupid to happen. And I'm going to watch you the whole time while you're walking down the street waiting for you to get attacked by your pets. Like, none of this makes sense.
What I'm hearing is this is one of the only appropriate times to ask what someone was wearing once they are attacked.
Oh, yeah. What were you wearing?
Because if you're wearing 4 snakes and you get bit by a snake, I feel like maybe you did ask for it.
I just did. I don't know enough about snake temperaments to be like, oh, that's a cool snake to have as a pet, and that one isn't. But I'll tell you this. In watching that video on the Twitters, when I saw like the anguish that man was going through, I felt it immediately like, damn, why did y'all do that?
Yeah. So
not cool. Absolutely not cool. I'm not a snake advocate, but in that moment, I felt something. And I felt it right here.
Okay.
Right on the inside.
Oh.
Under my high horse. I don't like it.
No. Not a fan.
I don't need it to happen again. You guys get your act together.
That was a wild, wild story. It's not brand new. It is this year. I think it's April or something, but it was pretty wild to see today.
Oh, it was that long ago?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how the internet works.
It's true.
It's
true. It's very
Things
true.
resurface.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about Eric Adams.
Well, before we do that.
Or don't.
How about you start with Eric Adams? I'll jump in while I'll switch my power cord. Give her a solo can. I'm going into work.
Okay. Eric Adams, one king of the stop and frisk, who has done nothing but a bunch of corruption in New York City. If you'll remember, he was like, we need so many more cops. The cops must be more. Then they put out 1,000. And then they were like, got to get a new expansion pack of cops. Do another 1,000. And they flooded the subways and they did all these things. And then all you saw was police officers on their phones playing Candy Crush all together in the subway.
Don't forget about the RoboCops. Remember, he got the police box down there too.
They have it all.
Speaking of which, I did see my first one downtown.
Here?
Yeah. Yeah. I had that gig. What was that, Friday? Outside of the Big Pink, I saw one. I was parking. And, it was a little security police spot. White with blue stripes. And I'm sitting here like, but what are you going to do? Just walking around taping people. And people are taking pictures with it. And
well, yeah, because they're at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Obviously, you should be taking pictures with the tourist attraction that is the police state.
For true.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so Eric Adams, in all his glory, is getting, I believe the word is canceled.
Yeah, rightfully so. Rightfully so. So there are so many members of his administration now that are under investigation. I feel like things came to a big, abrupt head when there was a raid. The FBI ran up on him and I believe one of his aides.
Yeah.
And seized all his electronic devices. Seized his phone, laptops, iPads, all the things. And that was months ago. That was months ago. So at that point, he's like, hey, we're just fully cooperating. It's no big deal. Whatever they need from us, they'll get it. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, dude, first off, the feds don't just seize anyone's devices just to be...
Certainly not fellow law enforcement.
Yeah, just to be on the safe side. We think we might have some... Dude, they know what they're looking for. They're just trying to find where it is and the exact language in which it was texted. That's it. They know exactly what they're looking for, bro. You're caught dead to rights.
Yep.
Like, at this point. But again, it was months ago. So since then, we've had chief of police implicated in some corruption. His brother, his twin brother, implicated in some corruption. His chief of staff.
Indeed.
Her husband.
Oh.
Who was also in leadership. There are so many people that have had their homes raided, had their devices taken, are now resigning. Someone just resigned on Saturday.
So someone resigned on Saturday at night, just like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. I'm not waiting until Monday. I'm not waiting until a work day to put in my non-notice. Right. I'm out of here.
It was like his legal advisor is...
yeah, top legal advisor or
his top legal aid,
legal aid or something, and now he's under a bunch of pressure to oust his top aide, who is also, like you said previously, everybody's friends here. We're all just Jennies from the block, you know?
Right.
And we're just bringing our friends with us. No crabs in the barrel here. I'm just going to take you with me all the way to the top of the corruption mountain.
I mean, what happens? What are we looking at? And shout out to Majority Report for covering this. What are we looking at? Well, your top legal strategist quits on the weekend.
Yeah.
At the nighttime.
Yeah.
What are they trying to avoid?
Whatever's about to come out on Monday. Yeah.
Right. I mean, already you did this on Saturday night. So you're skipping church Sunday. You're not... What you're not doing is showing up at church to have anybody ask you anything. In there or reporters on the way out. Woo. So, worshiping at home this Sunday. However, you wanted to make sure you were out of the paint by Monday. Your top legal strategist.
I mean, the person who knows that you don't have backup legal strategists,
Right. Right.
The person who knows that this is something you would need some time to replace this position. Normally, you'll wait. When the hammer's about to hit and you're like, I didn't have anything to do with this. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it and I don't work here anymore. Yeah. Homie, don't ask. I'm not on break. I don't work here.
Homie literally said, you're on your own. Close the laptop.
Said, have at it.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm not clearing off my desk. Keep my mugs.
The federal probe is probing. It just keeps. Oh, and hey, what about you? And what about you? And what about you?
And this early, for anyone that is paying attention to the Tiffany Henry situation, it's a how would I phrase that? It's the picture perfect example of how the feds work. They're getting people that are lower down the totem pole that have a great degree of exposure who they can flip. They're getting everyone around Eric Adams.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? We watched the same thing happen with Tiffany. The things Tiffany is doing is just out loud, in front of you, egregious, receipts on receipts on receipts for corruption. And go ahead.
What makes it worse is that people are saying it to her face right now. Hey, girl, we can see you doing this. We can see you doing the corruption. Hey, welcome back to my channel. You're a money launderer. You stole from us. Right. Like they're saying it. And we've seen people push back on Eric Adams and him just be like, so anyway, that's cute.
Yeah.
There's that air of just like, I'm not accountable to you because I'm in power, not you.
You spoke about wanting to have a level of confidence similar to that on the last show.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I want to experience it. I don't want to like live with it. You know what I mean? I just want to know what it feels like
You don't want to take it outside.
I don't want to take it outside. I'm not even asking for a sleepover.
You want to walk around the house with it.
Just, nice try her on. Yeah. Because I don't understand that, just as like I don't understand people that want massive amounts of power. Like, I don't understand it. So I don't understand how you can be so confident when you're so bad at stuff. And I don't know how you can, like, be so bad at stuff and also think you should be in charge and that's a deserved place for you to be.
It's truly an indictment on us. It's truly an indictment.
You keep putting everything on us.
Yeah, it's an indictment on the citizenry. It really is. It really is. Because on the way in, I didn't need Eric Adams to do what he's doing now.
No, we were definitely saying, hey guys, Eric Adams is going to do everything he's doing now.
Don't
said
vote
this already.
For him.
Don't do that.
Don't vote for him.
Stop voting for.
And that's just like, it's not like we had years on Eric Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what we found out during his campaign, it's like, this is the worst thing that's going to happen to you guys. Please don't.
Right.
We didn't know anything about his career before any of it. And hey man, let's celebrate our next black mayor. Cool.
I mean, to be fair, there's context to the fact to how an Eric Adams wins in that race.
Sure.
One is, you guessed it, patriarchy.
Definitely.
People did not take Maya Wiley seriously. They did not take Maya Wiley seriously in the way of misunderstanding. There is we talk about this all the time, but there's such a surface level understanding of every major topic that needs to actually be understood, that it isn't as simple as just saying don't vote for a former prosecutor. It just isn't that simple.
Right.
It is that simple to say don't vote for cops. Anyway,
word to Kamala. Reverse shout out.
Literally, why I stopped myself from saying it was like, everybody calls her the top cop. I was talking about actual officers, not
I feel you.
Officers of the court. But fine. I got no problem with you saying not to vote for her as no problem.
Yeah, well, I can dig it.
It's less I have bigger problems, I guess.
I got bigger fish to fry.
Anyway, not the point. Now I forgot what I was saying.
You were responding to me blaming the citizenry for where we are.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Maya Wiley was not taken seriously.
No.
Maya Wiley had none of the money that the, Democratic-backed candidate of Eric Adams had.
Or the political influences from the support from
the police department.
City officials.
And police union.
Yep. City
officials. More than anything, he was the Democratic choice.
Yeah.
Right? So Maya Wiley is in between the two of them. She's, a progressive that is going to try and do nice things for people. So can't have her. So they painted her as a woman who doesn't know anything, who's inexperienced, who, all the things that they're doing to Kamala Harris right this second.
Any woman that runs.
Any woman that runs, but very specifically black women are, just not quite smart enough to be able to do this job. They're, this is a DEI hire, I believe.
That's what they call it. Yeah.
So there were reasons that an Eric Adams is elected. What the conversation needs to be is, why do Democrats want this kind of Democrat? Why is the National Party like, this is our man? I'm going to say because the Democratic Party is incredibly pro-police and wants very much to be able to use that messaging whenever they need to be able to pivot to use it.
At what point do we start to separate the Democratic Party from people in the populace that vote Democrat? Because I feel like the party has some straight lines that exist, and that's not going to change. Whereas you have people that vote Democrat that if they understood what the party stood for, they'd be like, well, I'm voting blue because that's what I've always done. But I didn't realize this is what that meant.
I hear you, but then the alternative in this current Earth 616 is then you're voting for a Republican. And if you're good with that, then go for it. Yeah. If you're not, and I don't mean you, I mean like, so there isn't another option that is a viable option yet.
Not at all.
And so I guess where you're going with that is talking to that group of people that are like, hey, what is happening here? I feel like we could maybe change some things and it'd be better.
I should have been more clear. I should have been more clear. What I was trying to say was, looking at this from an identity politics lens, there are, I think on both sides,
there were fine people.
There what?
There were fine people.
There were uninformed. There were fine and uninformed people on both sides.
Oh, okay.
In the way that you got Republicans voting against your own interests. So does that really make you a Republican? Do you understand that you're not really a Republican? You're just a white person voting Republican. You're voting against your own interests. This is what the Republicans are interested in. That's literally,
right.
Not what you're interested. This is detrimental to your life. On the same side of the coin, other side of the coin, Democrats, like having a conversation with someone, are you for stop and frisk? Do you know that's what they're trying to do here? Do you understand what's happening with housing in New York? Right. Do you understand what's happening with immigrant? You don't know any of this stuff.
Right.
But
I do know that the immigrants get too much. Right. I'll tell you this. They qualify for everything.
That was triggering. I had a man.
Sorry.
I had an engagement with interaction with a store owner here in Portland who themselves are immigrants, is an immigrant, and just frowns upon what's happening with the immigrants.
There is a caravan. I don't know what's wrong with you. There are so many people eating dogs and cats. Nowhere.
No, it's time for break. I don't even know how I don't know why you brought JD Vance into this.
It's not just JD Vance.
But he's hardlining it.
My man said, my man said, in order to get the media to pay attention to the things that are harming Americans, if I have to create a story to do that, that's what I'm going to do.
Literally said that.
If I have to create a story, I'm going to do it. And then when the person says, okay, well, you just said that you created that story. He's like, oh, come on. That's not what I meant, obviously.
Literally what you said, sir.
Sir? You said it. Then you double down on it because that's what, I mean, it's insane. Insane. I just still can't get over that. Like, we're just going to make these things up. We're going to say that we made these things up. We're going to tell you that that's not a weird, bad thing to do. And then I guess we'll go from there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like.
All right.
Wild for the night.
I said, let's hop into the break. We're starting at 2 minutes late, so we're going to come back 2 minutes later than we normally would.
It's a 10-minute break, people.
You know what I'm saying?
And it ends after it starts. There's your answer.
Okay. All right. We'll catch you on the other side of the break. This is how I normally dance.
When you're DJing, or?
It's a little bit more.
When you're DJing?
Yeah, I get it popping. I do spins.
Oh.
Freezes. A little bit of the robot. But it's more of like 2024 version of the robot.
I wanted so bad to troll you right this second.
Why?
Because why not?
Okay.
But I could not remember the lady's name.
Which one?
The break dancer.
Oh, wow. You're going to Reagan me?
Reagan! Yeah. I was going to be like, but do you kangaroo hop or something, you know?
In worse news.
Oh, okay.
Some breakdancing world organization, based on her scores from like the last couple of months, you know, where she's rigging competitions, she is now rated as the top breakdancer in the world.
What does it mean?
I don't care what it means.
What does it mean?
It means it's foolishness. It means travesty. It means this is what happens when you allow other people to take your culture and create tomfoolery with it.
Thomas foolery.
Thomas, indeed. Thomas and Thomasina foolery.
Thomasina's never going to not get me.
Speaking of Thomasina foolery, and I know I'm jumping around and I apologize.
That's fine.
Did you see Jill Stein on Mehdi Hasan?
I didn't. Uh-oh.
So, Mehdi asked Jill, why have you yet to call out Vladimir Putin as a war criminal? And she said, oh, we absolutely did, very early on. And he was like, oh, did you? And she was like, in a matter of words, yes, we did. And he was like, well, when it comes to Benjamin Netanyahu, you have said it very clearly. He is a war criminal. Oh, because he is. Okay, but...
So we've established that they do exist.
Yeah. Then why...
I think she would call Bush
Vladimir
a war
Putin
criminal, right?
a war? She called Netanyahu and Biden war criminals. So
okay.
Why then won't you call Putin a war criminal? And she said, well, the IJC has yet to classify. He was like, no, they've already done that. There's a warrant out for his arrest.
There's an actual warrant.
Yeah.
Out for his arrest. Then
she pivots to, well, if you want to make sure that you're open to negotiations, you don't start out with name calling. He said, so there should be negotiations with Israel because you're totally fine. Like, he just kept coming back to it. And the way that she was dodging, it was terrible. It was terrible. So imagine, did you play any dodgeball?
Oh, I mean, in school, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put all the balls in the middle of the half court?
Yeah.
And then everyone runs around? Yeah. Okay. And, you know, like, you do your moves. You're trying to avoid the balls coming at you, right?
Right.
Jill had this uncanny ability to move only in the directions in which the ball was going. She was catching every single one. And I'm sitting here like...
Walked right into it.
Dog.
Walked right into it.
If this is not a lesson in do not sit across from Mehdi Hasan unless you're ready, I don't know what it is.
Listen, I'm going to be honest.
It was only a minute. It was brutal. It was brutal.
I think we're on like year 15 that people should know that, though. Like there's, if you don't know that, then you probably shouldn't be sitting across from him. I guess, like you said. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's just
guys. What was it, MSNBC? Is that where he was?
Yes, he was on MSNBC, and then they fired him.
Right.
And he has now started Zateo News.
Right.
Yeah.
Guys, he's got his own thing. There's no one for him to answer to. Please don't play with Mehdi like that. Please. Please.
I don't mean to do this.
Do it.
Breaking. We're going to have to get a breaking news situation.
All right.
Sean Diddy Combs arrested in New York following sex trafficking investigation.
Whoa. What? Glee.
Shout out to Faith for sending this to the group chat.
I'm sorry. What?
Sean Diddy Combs, who was the subject of a pair of federal raids and a sex trafficking investigation, was arrested Monday in Manhattan. This is from USA Today, by the way. Combs' attorney confirmed the news to USA Today in a statement saying, quote, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office." The music mogul was taken into custody following a grand jury's indictment per The Hollywood Reporter. The specific charges are not yet clear. Combs is a music icon, so I'm not telling that. Combs' arrest follows a spate of legal woes for the Bad Boy Records founder. Combs is facing multiple lawsuits filed in recent months claiming the music magnate. What I said, magnet? Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Graped or SA'd several alleged victims over the past few decades. Combs has denied all accusations against him. But if you'll remember, he was denying a bunch of stuff, and then a video came out in which he was clobbering Cassie in a hotel hallway. So he then did admit to that.
Yeah. He was in a dark place.
He did, in fact, tell us that was rock bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't clear if that was rock bottom or if he was at rock bottom now, but either way, he's yet to reach rock bottom. I'm going to tell you this about that.
I think rock bottom's around the corner.
Arrested.
I mean, to our earlier point of when the feds step in and they walk down that hill slow, they know exactly what they want.
Wow.
They're just collecting.
You know, the thing though, Ambush, you're absolutely right. And the thing that is upsetting about that is how much information do they have to collect before they move is the thing that I have questions about. Because a bunch of these school shooters and a bunch of these, attempted whatevers, it's like, oh, we told knew that guy he's been on our radar. Travis has watched him for, days now or months now.
Well,
and then it's like, well,
it's a multifaceted situation. So getting the information, getting the data they need to make a move is one part.
Right.
Whether they make the move is contingent on several other things, primarily external pressure. We watched them investigate R. Kelly for 7 years.
Maybe longer, yeah.
Nothing happened. I'm talking about the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
While Aaliyah was alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
7-year-long investigation, and then nothing happened.
And then they were like, inconclusive.
So it's not like you didn't find the stuff. It was whoever made whatever calls, boom, 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 and then we're good. I think whenever the feds are involved, their ability to pull up all of the information is there. What's the motivation to move forward?
Right.
And what dictates that? This is not here's the thing, right? Police came to this man's house when he shot someone in his house. And they were like, well, it sounds like you got all this under control.
Sounds like you got a shooting range in your backyard, so everything's fine. All good over here, huh?
The only part of this that, and, this is where a lot of the hoteps and, misogynists are going to be like, see? Is there a level of conspiracy? Is there a level of plot to finally take him down? Yeah, but it's not wrongfully so. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been getting away with this for decades. Mm-hmm. He has no chill. Mm-hmm. At some point, somebody said, all right, we got to punch the card. This guy's just... But you should have stopped him decades ago.
Yeah, this is kind of to the point of every one of the detective dramas that I love that is just full-blown propaganda at all times. None of the things work the way that they show them on, any of those detective dramas. And I'm not saying that they are supposed to, but that's where we're supposed to get factual things. But I am saying that helps shape people's understanding of what happens. And so if you're a person in America who has not really had police contact and your idea of a police investigation is like these really caring people that are just trying to get to the truth and just want to make sure they get the right person and make sure the victims are cared for. And you're in for the rudest of awakenings because all of a sudden there's just too many contradictions. So there is a phrase in prosecution that you can indict a ham sandwich because you can take almost nothing to a grand jury and explain to them why this needs to be indicted, or why this person needs to be indicted, and the information you think you'll find later type shit. Like, so, type shit. So, the idea would be that when there's all this evidence presented, there's really nothing to talk about. What else do we need to do? How much more evidence do you need? You know? And then I guess we just also think that like maybe the accounts of people count a little bit more than they do. Yep. And they don't. Or they do enough once there's 8 of them. Right. Or, you know, like there's just all this stuff. Wow. But Diddy being arrested is, you know, I am a non-carceral. I do not believe in this current system. Yeah. I don't know what I was about to say. Carceral system? Judicial system. Judicial system. Not here for it, but this is the only thing to do with a diddler. You know, like you cannot, you can't let the diddler loose. Did he? You know he did. So he's being arrested for charges in New York. What, pray tell, do you think will happen for his cases that will soon pop up in LA and Miami and wherever else he has homes? The only reason he has not, not the only. Okay, slow down, Morgan. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons he hasn't been arrested on a bunch of these things for criminal charges is the statute of limitations. Mm. So you're not going to get an arrest for something that happened in the 90s or the early 2000s necessarily, right? So the fact-finding mission of where are the people that this happened to sooner, that I do understand their the weight there, because there's going to be a lot. I mean, there have been so many people that have already come forward or have sued him civilly, right? That I think that's the point. Their statute of limitations, which different conversation, because should we be allowing this, with what we know about SA and what it does to someone psychologically, are we really, like just gonna let that continue to be sort of like, we don't really know how it's gonna impact you? We don't really, we know why people don't say anything. We know why people are, in the beginning, we know why they don't disclose. We know why they don't go to the police. We know all of these things, yet we're still sitting with these archaic, 2-year, 4-year statute of limitations, when we know it can take people decades to process stuff. Yeah. Who are you protecting with the statute of limitations? Right. And for me, at the end of it, the harm has been so big and so great to those people, in the way that we see so many people who have been assaulted early in life be addicts throughout their life because they're trying to cope with the things that happened to them, the trauma that they lived through. They don't know how to. They don't have the resources to work on it. Maybe they do and it's not working. Right. Whatever it is, there's a lot of self-medicating happening. And we know that. So, even when we're seeing people show up 15, 20 years later and say, this thing happened to me, this person did it, blah, blah, blah. And then what ends up happening is people look in their past and go, oh, but you do heroin or something. You know what I mean? You spent time doing cocaine. Okay, well, yep. That person spent time sexually assaulting me, though. Do we want to talk about that, or do we want to talk about how I made it through? And if we know that those things are correlated, the idea that we're just going to keep those statutes and that, limitation to protect groomers and rapists and assaulters and all of those things. Like, we're just protecting and making sure that the wrong people are given multiple chances.
Yeah.
And we do nothing for the people who have just been obliterated.
And he just recently lost a $100 million settlement.
Default judgments, baby. So Diddy defaulted. He did not show up to court. Someone sued him for $100 million. $100 million.
For sexual assault.
For sexual assault. That happened many years ago, happened many times.
Right.
And I think Diddy tried to settle with him before this was ever a thing many years ago and was like 2 million or something. Yeah, like, hey man, just take this 2.3 and shut up.
Mind you, this person is currently incarcerated, and Diddy claims to not even know who this person is.
His lawyer said, we don't even know who this person is. This is obviously a frivolous lawsuit. There was nothing for us to respond to because we don't know him. And now what?
And then, in the evidence presented, the person who sued Diddy was able to present that Diddy signed into the ledger to visit him in prison. And it was at that point, right? It was at that point that Diddy was like, "Listen, hey, you know how we play. Come on, man, stop. Cut it out. You're making a big deal about nothing. Let me hit you off with this 2.3 million."
Yeah.
My man said, "Absolutely not. I'm not doing that."
That's not what he said, babe. He said, "I know my worth."
He said, "I know my worth." He did. You're not gonna play me.
You're not gonna play me. I know my worth. I know your worth. I know how many times that you have done this just to me, and I know what I've seen outside of me. Yeah. You owe me. You got to run more than 2.3. And Diddy said, absolutely not. And so this guy said, okay, cool, no props, and files a lawsuit for $100 million. Diddy does not respond. His lawyers do not respond. They do not show up on the court day. Default judgment, $100 million.
100 mil. Boom. Mans is still incarcerated, by the way. I
mean, legendary books, okay?
Legendary. His books.
Legendary books.
Books is nice, B.
Imagine being friends with the diddler and you're in prison and he's just making sure that the books are gravy, like that. No?
No, I'm with you. Imagine.
I think that,
In a world.
In a world.
Yeah.
But those are just the people that he didn't essay.
Right.
And the people he did, you'd think that he'd take a little bit more care of. Let me kick you down a couple more bucks.
You just said something, though. Imagine being friends with Diddy and him taking care of you while you're locked up.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. Because if you're friends with Diddy, he does not have friends.
No.
Yeah, to be clear.
Yeah,
I did say imagine.
Okay. Yeah, it's a rough one.
No, Diddy doesn't. I mean, I know that I'm not supposed to give any credence to anything that Jaguar Wright has said about the diddler, but it kind of all seems to be coming true.
Oh, goodness. Jag has said too much, so we're going to move on from there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Jag is...
Okay.
Lord of mercy. Okay.
I'm just saying, there's been a lot of things that are like, well...
Listen, Jag is one of those situations where you can't give a certain amount of credence without, and it's a slippery slope. It's Umar, okay? Jag's gonna be right
twice a day. Yeah.
You gotta let the rest of that go, because then before you know it.
And the slipperiest part of it is you don't know which part that's okay to listen to?
Yeah.
Because are you telling me for certain the Diddy stuff is not okay? Because I think that maybe the Diddy stuff is
I think the Diddy stuff is when, when her clock's right. Clock struck. Struck right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't a plan. Sorry, that's breaking news.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Oh, there we go. Arrested in the lobby of a hotel in New York City. They interviewed several people in relation to allegations of sex trafficking and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. Uh-oh. But wait, there's more. I mean, so we're going to have every alphabet boy on this one?
ATF, CIA, NSA.
Okay, maybe not the CIA.
Why not?
DEA.
All of them.
FBA.
Who's the FBI? Oh, Foundation of Black Americans.
Yeah.
Yes. ADOS.
Yes.
All of them.
Every alphabet boy.
Yeah. It's going down.
Whew.
The FDA.
Twitter's on fire. Like.
All right, but let's get to.
Yeah. We can move on. White men can't shoot. I said that. Right here.
I don't know why that had such an Obama tenor to it. White men can't shoot. I said that. Like you hear it now, right?
I definitely.
When you watch the clip, you're gonna hear it. I said that. Okay. Thank you.
I had more, but then I didn't.
Rock Jones, let's get it.
Okay. I don't know that that's it. So there was another, and I guess I should maybe say that, like trigger warning, Trump is still alive. So
yeah.
If you were like, oh no, be still my heart. Like, don't even worry about it.
He's good, guys.
He's good.
Yeah.
Toad's fine. Eating a quarter pounder and a Diet Coke right this second.
Absolutely. Secret Service was on their job.
Well.
I mean.
Okay.
If you prevent if it remains an attempt.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
The fact that he was camped there for 12 hours is a issue for me.
That's how it's done.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying where is the Secret Service? What's the security detail of the perimeter of bad bitch golf tournament space?
You are observing.
What are they called?
The route.
Golf club.
Golf course.
Course.
You're observing the route. You know when the shift changes are. You know when your opening is to get in.
Yeah.
And for him, that 12-hour window was that was his window. Shift change this time. Boom, boom, boom. I got 3 minutes to get in.
Okay, so are you telling me this that
I play a lot of Metal Gear, or I used
to. Okay, so are you telling me that Ryan gets in there.
Yeah.
He's camping. You don't find issue with the fact that the Secret Service has yet to find him.
No.
Okay. And this is his in. So did he get, because I hear you on the shift change and knowing when to, right? One of the questions I heard asked on the news was like, how did he know when he would be playing golf? And my thought was, you don't have to if you've been there for 12 hours. Like, if you know he does it every day and you're camping it, you got your bed, you're just getting out of bed, right?
But if you also know that, Tuesdays he golfs, like, I mean, here's the thing.
Nah, he tells us every move.
Yeah. Dedicate yourself to something. You're going to get the details you need to get.
You're going to be able to get everything that you want out of that situation. Yeah. Well, this particular person allegedly, and I'm saying allegedly only because I'm finding issue with the story. So I'll just say that.
Okay.
Much like I find issue with the first story. And I'm not saying
that bullet did not hit his ear.
This is a conspiracy, and I'm not saying I don't have a theory to give you.
I understand.
I'm also not like these things would never happen.
Your conspiracy lies more in the reporting and the way the story is being being projected and twisted into something.
Or presented.
Presented versus what actually happened.
Correct.
And I agree with you 100% on that. There was an assassination attempt. Did he get shot in the ear? Absolutely not.
Correct.
Is it more than likely that was glass from the teleprompter? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. You know what I mean? You people saying that, it grazed his... No.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop you there. It's not you people. This man said he took a bullet to the head for this country. He did. He said that. A bullet to the head.
Yeah.
He did say that. He did not take a bullet to the head. So here's what I'll say. The reason I was saying allegedly is because the beginning of the story that we heard was, hey guys, no worries. Trump is marked safe from the sounds of gunshots around him.
Literally.
That was what it was about.
Yeah.
Nothing. He's fine. Stand down. We don't even need the Proud Boys to stand by. Like, we got it. There were gunshots. The former president is fine.
Right.
But then to find out that the gunshots were the Secret Service. There was no shooting from Ryan or his AK-47 with no serial number. There was none. So I understand the attempt is you're there with an AK-47, with a scope, with a thing. Ceramic tiles that they're saying would have been armor and a GoPro, because who doesn't have one of those when you go to do your shootings? I am not saying that he wasn't there for that. But when you start the story with the former president is fine, there were shots near him, whoever told the press that knew who did the shooting. And the reason I know that is they did the shooting.
And then they told the press, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not okay with that. I guess I'll just say that.
No.
I don't like that ends up being, look at this assassination attempt. That's twice now against this one guy. And he literally is now doing today he said that this is because Biden and Harris's rhetoric.
Yeah.
Which is, like, what's the right word for a belly laugh, but that, like, busts the belly open, you know?
I'm not sure.
Me either. It's that kind of fucking laughable, because just seconds ago you were like, speech can't cause violence. Words aren't physical. Like, we've spent years doing this. You are right now saying that people that were involved in January 6th should be pardoned, should be heroes, should get medals, like, all the things. But that you didn't have anything to do with it, and none of the words that you said had anything to do with it. You didn't stoke any flames. You didn't, like, your rhetoric didn't do anything. Trump doesn't know what the word rhetoric means.
Absolutely.
But now we're going to do this is Biden and Harris, who, I'm going to tell you this. They have done not enough on every single thing they're supposed to do. Not enough. Not enough. You know how much you could... There's so much to make fun of. Mm-hmm. There's so much fodder. There's so many felonies. There's so many things we could be talking about when it comes to Donald Dump Truck. And none of what these two people, Biden and Harris, nothing that they've said, they're all milquetoast. They're all completely like, saccharine fucking sweet.
Yeah.
When it comes to this dude. Even Kamala today in her... I know those people. I'll lock them up. Like, even that. None of it makes anybody go, you know who needs to die?
Right.
Trump. Like, that's not what's happening. He is saying these people are destroying your country. Because of Kamala Harris, the borders are open. And the migrants are coming. And they're coming from everywhere, folks. And it's
coming out of asylums.
They're coming out of asylums. I mean... I'm going to flip the table.
Okay.
I mean, we got further.
I was going to say
There's only half an hour left.
I was going to credit you with that.
Thank you.
You made it this far into the show before you decided to announce,
I appreciate.
So I'll give you that.
But it literally, like, I'm just, you were probably watching me charge up. I don't know how we are here still. I mean, I know, but I don't want us to still be here. We should not be here. We should not be here explaining that this is now going to be another PR stunt and that, or a PR opportunity.
Opportunity, for sure.
This is just more for him to say you're the victim and the victor all at the same time. This is just, I don't know how a person can live like this. Like, the roller coaster of being a Donald Trump fan has to be fucking insane.
It drives you to want to assassinate him, which is another factor that isn't spoken about enough. Both of these attempts were done by white men who voted for Trump.
Yeah. This one...
You're upsetting your own party.
You're upsetting your own peeps. Well, that's the thing. They're not his peeps. Mm. And maybe they're starting to recognize that.
Oh.
And I don't mean that means people should go, I'm woke now, so I will go murder. I mean, right. Maybe you're starting to understand that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Huh? Maybe you're starting to catch that one.
You're a little late to that party, but
little late.
Congratulations.
Maybe you're starting to understand that the class war is what this is really about, and that Donald Trump was never about to do shit for you. Unless, of course, you have more money than him. And if you do, you're probably not watching this.
Right.
So. Yeah. But just so we make sure that we mention it out loud, the Ryan Wesley Ruth, I don't know if that's how you say it. Ralph, Routh. Routh.
Yeah, it is Ralph.
Whatever.
See it.
So he camped by the golf course. He was a former supporter that became disillusioned, is what they're saying, and now supports Ukraine in its conflict with Russia, which I thought that's what this country did, so I'm not sure why that's disillusioned, but his motives for this are still unclear as of now, but he's very sort of maybe blue MAGA, you know?
Well, I feel like the disillusionment makes sense in the way that Trump is pro-Russia. If you're in support of Ukraine, and then your guy is like,
I see.
I'll get this war stopped because I'll talk to my buddy, Putin. They're not doing that. They don't want to talk to Putin. I'll talk to Putin. I can get this done. Yeah. So,
This guy went off a couple of different deep ends, though. I will say that.
I bet he did. I just bet he did.
At one point, he made his internet history is pretty wild. Like he reached out to maybe Zelensky, on Twitter or something. Adds him and is like, I got access to 1,000 Afghani soldiers. God, why are words so hard?
On Elon's Twitter?
On Elon. Well, I don't know if it was Elon's at that time.
Okay.
Oh no, it had to be. Well, no, he bought it in the middle of this
conflict.
That's a war.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Sorry.
I'm going to buy you a mini table so you can flip it.
Oh my God, would you?
I'm going to find it. We'll put it right here. And at
like a little miniature.
Like a little miniature folding table. You'd be like, man.
Just don't make it too mini.
Because then it'll end up over there.
Exactly.
Make sure it has some weight to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, he reached out being like, hey, bro, I got some soldiers for you. Let's link. How
are you just volunteering other people's lives? Oh, that is wild.
Unsure. So let me ask you this, and then we can move on. How does it help Trump? How does it hurt Trump?
I don't know if it does either, honestly.
If it does either?
I mean, the attempt and the ability to be able to twist that whatever way he needs to make himself, like you said, a hero, and a victim at the same time, that helps. This in no way hurts Trump. None. Yeah. MAGA supporters are there. They're not going anywhere.
What about the moderates, though? Or the I
think they'll view him as a victim still. Yeah, I think they'll still view him as a victim. They just keep coming after this guy. Yeah.
I think that he does have a problem because he keeps doing contradictive things. And that doesn't mean that I think that people are going to be like, I've had it, or like enough people are going to do that. But at first he was like, we need unity. We need the country to heal. We need no more violence, blah, blah, blah. And then he pivoted this afternoon to it's Joe Byron and that Kamala lady.
Come on.
No, what do they call her? Kamala. Kamala.
Kamala.
And Kamala. They're the ones. It's their rhetoric that is violence and is causing Trump to get shot at.
Yeah, man. You ain't know?
I didn't know, actually. And I don't know either if this helps, hurts, or whatever. You know, like I think there is something to be said, though, that people are not here for that first one and getting shot in the ear. And like, yes, at the RNC, people were wearing bandages and all of that stuff. But now there are literal demonstrations of what it would look like if your ear were grazed by
a bullet of that caliber.
And it ain't this.
No.
So a lot of folks were like, now, wait a minute. And by a lot of folks, I mean the ones who believe in him and believe that he will, in fact, change everything for the better. And that he's not out here being a liar, you know? A lot of people were upset. So I wonder if the more he tries to milk these things, if that's the thing. Because we saw him stop saying, they tried to kill me. They're trying to kill me. We saw him stop saying that. And then now we're back to, I took a bullet to the head for this country.
I mean, here's the thing. He's not lying. They are trying to kill him. The they is coming from inside the house, though.
It's your cousin.
It's your folks.
Yo.
It's literally people that have attended your rally that are trying to kill you.
That at one point believed in your message and then realized your message wasn't messaging. Like there's nothing there. It wasn't going to do anything. But this guy also liked like Tulsi Gabbard at one point and was like, he was all over every map.
Yeah, now he's all over.
It's called a true independent. No? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got 20 minutes.
You were talking about Ruth was all over the place. Ralph was all over the place.
Yeah, that's what
I'm sorry. I said he was all over Laura Loomer. I thought you were talking about Trump.
Oh, wow. That was your ad lib over there?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll show up.
The Luminator.
I'll call it that.
Why not? I feel like she terminates stuff. No? Maybe not pregnancies, but like other stuff.
Laura Loomer.
We don't need to talk about her.
It wasn't necessarily on the docket.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay.
I will say that there are people that will do anything for proximity to power. And if having sex with Donald Trump is what I have to do to be powerful, I'm just going to never be powerful. I would never do it. And the fact that that's the rumor that they are sleeping together is, yeah, your face is my reaction as well.
So gross. That's just.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Rene Gonzalez because he must be stopped. Let's be very serious for the closeout.
Yeah.
We are coming up. What did you say the other earlier? We're like 50 days out.
Yeah.
From not just the national election, but our local elections. And I hope anybody watching this, anybody who hears it later, I hope you are paying attention to your local politics. I hope that if you know that your city council is trash, I hope you are telling everybody you know that the city council is trash so that they know the city council is trash.
Ballots are going out already.
What we continuously notice in any casual conversation, serious conversation, hired moment, people don't know shit. They don't know, like, generally, they have no idea how the government works, why, or what it's supposed to do, or what it could do. Yep. There's such a humongous lack of imagination to be like, what would we want from it? And the very purposeful inefficiencies and bureaucracy that makes it seem like it's completely impossible to get anything done.
Right.
It isn't impossible to get anything done, but it is when you continue to elect people who don't want to get the things done. Rene Gonzalez is an obstructor, and he has already, for nearly 2 years, he has already shifted the way some people even understand humanity.
Yeah.
And I'm not overstating.
That's a huge one, though.
He has also multiple times misused the police. Lied about constituents, lied about colleagues, lied about our public transportation, lied about the campaign finance stuff in the very beginning when Jordan Schnitzer was subsidizing.
Just gave him an office.
Just gave him an office downtown because, why not? Rent for $250 seems absolutely legit in 2022 or whenever that was.
Especially downtown.
Well, it's a 5-alarm fire. They've got to risk their lives to even get to that building, How that was never a thing. It was like 70 plus grand of worth. How that was just like, that's not a campaign finance thing.
Right.
Now we have the Wikigate, where he paid $6,400 USDs.
City funds.
Of city funds to edit his Wikipedia page because he didn't like what the Wikipedia said. Like, let that sit.
Did anybody go back up there and change it?
I don't even know what he changed. You know what I mean? Like, do you understand how Wikipedia works, friend? Like, clearly not.
Apparently not.
Clearly not. But that certainly sparked some concern, right? About potential violations of campaign funds.
Continued violations.
Continued violations. So the city auditor found insufficient evidence that the edits, which focused on his public image, were politically motivated. And I want to be real clear. He's a politician currently campaigning for mayor.
Right.
Everything he does is political. Everything he does.
Yeah.
Down to saying that was an arson outside of my house. Down to being the one I'm being persecuted. People don't like me. He absolutely went up, I'm never going to get over the fact that man, the Friday following being on the max, made a whole video that said, I've been struggling with this for a week. Didn't know if I should come to you guys, besties. I didn't know if you should know this. But a black woman assaulted me on the TriMet. And TriMet is just unsafe. I'm not going to ride any of this was the max, but I'm not getting on anything until they can say or guarantee safe ridership. That's what he said. And no one touched him.
Yep.
There isn't even proof that woman talked to him. She just was black and existed on the same train he was on. And you know what he did? He said, call the cops. But then he didn't call the cops because he knew there was nothing to call about.
Right.
If you are a person that will do that to the people that live in the place you govern or want to govern, you are disqualified.
The level of disdain that he has for Portlanders, it's not new. It just needs to mean something.
It's got to start meaning something.
It needs to mean something. When the man is telling you you aren't smart enough to be in city leadership, that should mean something.
When the man tells you you're not smart enough to understand what you voted for, you don't know how to read a voter's pamphlet, you don't know how to research anything, you don't really know what you want, is what he said to us. None of y'all really know what you even voted for, so we need to fix it for you. It's amazing to me how, just complete and total illiterate people we are when they want us to be. And then all of a sudden, once an election is won, it's like, well, you guys are obviously the smartest people.
Right.
I'm tired of the fact that the same people that cause all of the divisions get to say things like, let's get done with the identity politics, or let's not get stuck on, you know, let's unify. You are the one doing the
causing the division.
You're the one causing chaos, and then you get to say like, "Hey, not everything's about race, buddy." So what that lady was black? She just happened. I don't even see color.
I was on the city auditor's website, found the determination letter and all of that. I got in deeper than I intended to.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find out, who are these people?
Mm.
Who's the city auditor?
Yeah.
Who are these people that came to the determination? Because this is who needs to answer for this.
Yeah.
Like, how? If you use, you're telling me this is the proper use of taxpayer funds? I need you to explain that to me. I need you to explain.
Well, I'll say this. What I didn't finish was that the city auditor said there's not sufficient evidence, but we're going to pass this on to the Oregon Secretary of State because they have more resources to investigate this. And I bet they do. Also, 2+ and. Could we not have done this together? Could this not have been a joint venture? Could somebody else not review it? Or do you really need...
A joint operation?
Do we really need separate... Well, I didn't find anything. How about you take a look at it? We have to update. We have to, like, maybe there is no line item for when a politician uses city funds for Wikipedia. So they're like, I don't know, is it political or not? Like, we have to update.
We need to go through these steps in order to prove to the public that we have done our due diligence in this determination.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's why there's so many layers to this. And I am with you. This could have been done at the exact same time, but then it would look like these are two separate offices that are colluding to make sure
points on the
he's
board.
Not found of any wrongdoing. Right. But if they're done separately, then it just reaffirms that he really didn't do anything.
Right.
He put it through the entire process.
Yeah.
And neither one of these officers found anything wrong.
Yeah.
Fire everybody.
I just can't. I just, if it isn't wrong today, like in the books, like maybe it's not. But
and that's wrong.
Right.
Right.
When does that part when do we start to talk about changing that part? Like, I don't think that you should get to use city funds to edit a Wikipedia page. I don't think you should get to do that.
You shouldn't. You absolutely shouldn't.
I don't think you should also be able to receive $70,000 worth of campaign assistance in the form of free rent when you're not supposed to get that. I mean, that is absolutely, what's the word? Getting favor. Like you are,
bribery.
Yeah, bribery. That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're buying your politicians outright.
There's just not an upside to Rene Gonzalez. There's not a look what he did. He is not a moderate. He is not even a conservative. He is a full-blown conservative, right-wing politician who is lying in order to be a winner in these races.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to say this. You may get tired of me, but until I am blue in the face, if you have to lie to people to get them to agree with you, they do not agree with you.
No.
They agree with the lie you told them. Period. So here's Rene out here doing a bunch of lies, getting people to believe those things that have never happened. And as we've talked about previously too, as soon as people find out that they were lied to, in certain circumstances, their trust factor shifts. Right. And then in others, it's just like, well, what do you want me to do?
Politicians lie. It's
Politicians lie, but they don't go that thing wasn't true that I've been very upset about for 3 days.
No.
2-3 months.
They move on.
But they hold it still. And they don't go, that thing was a lie and I need to rethink how I felt about that or how I feel about that person because that thing didn't happen or they didn't do the thing. They don't do that part.
Right.
So the reflection of like, there is no reflection when it comes to finding out that these politicians lied to you, and the thing that you were like spitting mad about never happened. I mean, think about all of the people you saw or heard or talked to talk about the shoplifting problem, the hordes of people that were just ruining the Walgreens. And when Walgreens goes, whoops, record profits, guys, fucking killed it.
Right.
High fives all around. There isn't an effort. There isn't even a moment where those people go, now wait a minute, what?
None.
Huh? I thought you said everything was stolen, and that's why you were going out of business. And you said that there were jobs were being lost, and you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It doesn't, and when it does, it's such a minuscule amount of people that it almost doesn't count, because of the folks who believe what they heard the first time, never go back to find out that it was untrue then, it's still untrue now. Like, it just, man, it's rough.
It's infuriating.
Infuriating's the right word.
Yeah. It ain't just rough. Rough isn't enough. It is actually infuriating. And I know you're like, man, you keep putting it on the people. Do y'all want Rene? Because we have an opportunity to not have him.
And for real, like, you can't tell me what he has done helpful as a city council person. And I don't want to hear any bullshit about how city council can't get things done. Because if they couldn't, you wouldn't have also been so mad about Joanne Hardesty.
Right.
So you can't have it all. What has he done that has helped you, that has helped the city, that has changed the shape in the way of towards something positive? Because there are more homeless people today than there were when he was instated. Right now in this city. And at some point we have to acknowledge these are systemic reasons. They are purposeful, and
they're nationwide.
They are nationwide, and a politician like Rene is here to keep it that way.
Right.
The only change would be to make it worse. And that's on purpose. Because it literally is a policy choice. It makes a lot of people rich. Poverty makes a lot of people rich.
Right.
It's all on purpose. And a person like him is lying directly to your face. Everything he has said that he thinks is the way we're supposed to go is stuff we've already tried, and we know it doesn't work. So acting as if this person is bringing new things to the game and innovative ideas, and you know what I mean? Like, he's not, and he lying to you. So now what? At what point is that? I'm okay. I don't want to hear any more from you.
Right.
Because if you find out your partner lied to you, what happens? Like, you rethink everything.
Everything.
Were you lying about this?
Yep.
Did you lie about this?
Yep.
Were you lying about that? These other people don't get that same scrutiny? Fuck those other people.
I mean,
like, in real life, this person is verifiably lying to you, playing in your face, and you're like, I'll wait.
Because I
don't know what's in his heart.
We've already been told that is a qualification and baked into the cake of being a politician.
Right.
The lies.
Politician agenda.
Right. The lies, the corruption, the misleading, the double
It's just
speak.
what you got to do as a politician.
It's
you can't.
Literally how you play the game.
Right.
And the reason I love Trump, because he says it straight.
He gives it to you straight.
He gives it to you straight. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we have real time for this, but I am just going to say it again. That
right.
The National Review, which is a far-right publication, Rich Lowry, not to be confused with Mike Lowry.
Please don't. Please don't.
Is the editor-in-chief, was on the Megyn Kelly show, and he hit Haitian hard R, oops, migrants, and is now just saying, I didn't even say that word. It wasn't even it's not, this was an accident or mistake. I didn't say that. It was just like, I was trying to get out migrant. Huh? Do you know how often you have to use that word with the hard R?
For it to slip out.
Because what I want everybody to just think about this. If you don't normally think about how racist people speak. If you are a white person who have some racist white people in your family or your circle, your orbit, whatever, do they normally give you the nation in which those black people are from?
Do they make a distinction?
Do they make a distinction when they hit that R?
No. That's
not a thing.
No.
Because black is hard R for them. That's it. It doesn't matter what nation you come from. It doesn't matter if you're an immigrant. None of that. So now all of a sudden it's Haitian hard R's. You are just, you use that word at will, at random, at willy-nilly.
You forgot where you were, sir. You forgot where you were.
You forgot the camera was recording.
Yeah.
Because, you're on Zoom doing that all day. But you're the one recording it, or you're the one, you know what I'm saying? Because you're the person who's the boss of where you work, but you're on somebody else's show.
Bruh.
And you hit the hard R. And here's the thing. There's too many white people that just don't think that's a big deal. And that's, what are you going to do? It's a word.
Bruh.
It's a word. And it's a word that has so much meaning and so much weight behind it. There's no other word like it.
Yeah.
So it's not just a word. It is a word that stops people from getting jobs. And I'm not talking about the white people that use it.
Right.
It's a word that gets people killed. It's a word that dehumanizes people, that allows other people to detach that that's a person, not a dog. Not that I think that it would matter. I think those same people would kill dogs. Mm. It just really upsets me that there are people that are more upset that the dog would get killed than a black person. But that's another story for another day. But if you have those people in your life and you're not saying something to those people when they hit that hard R, and that hard R doesn't matter if you are a black person or not. If you aren't saying anything, much like we didn't even get to it, the shits and gigs dudes didn't say anything to the anti-Blackness, to the misogynoir that was happening directly to their face and using their name to do it. They didn't say anything. And I have a lot of things to say about that. We'll save it for another time. But if you just sit there, if at every Thanksgiving or Christmas or gathering, they are doing that and you are doing the hiding your eyes because I can't believe he said it again. At what point do you do something different?
Right.
Because we got to stop expecting the people who do not see other people as people to all of a sudden be like, humanity. Wow, what was I thinking? All of you deserve respect. That's not a thing.
You got to do something, or maybe it just doesn't bother you.
The alternative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to just, what's the word I'm looking for? Blindly
ascribe to people?
Ascribe humanity to people.
No. Oh, you got to earn it.
Yeah. Easily.
That's cool.
They're walking around being monsters. You don't need to treat you like a human being. I'm cool.
Just okay. Well, that's another News with My Fiance. Monday night, Raw.
Hello.
Live. In person. Raw live.
Bam. It's in the books.
Yep.
We're done. Go ahead.
I was going to say thank you for spending quality time with us.
Absolutely. This episode made possible by our in-studio crew, Kyle G, Residual Audio, Jess M, and our remote quality control, Michelle and Ross.
You.
Shout out. Our studio sponsors, We Out Here Magazine and Spirited Justice, for hosting us each Monday. And of course, big thanks to all of you listening, watching, and staying engaged with us.
Keep doing that. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us at News with My Fiance. Follow Ambush at Scambeezy. And follow me at Portland Morgan. And become a member. Free or paid. Sock it to our pockets if you can. Over at Patreon. That's patreon.com/News with My Fiance. And Ambush is getting really great at giving the extras over there. And one of these days, I'll do that too.
All right. Sure. Like I said at the top of the show, shout out to our free sponsors and our paid sponsors. Michelle and Ross was good. And man, listen, you know the deal. You absolutely know the deal. Don't let the individuals distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits. Power to the people. And none of us are free until we are all free. We'll see you this Thursday, 7:30 a.m. on X-Ray.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. And you can catch this show streaming live on YouTube every Monday night from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And our podcast episodes are available everywhere you listen to podcasts except Spotify.